And we had an amazing guest today, Jen Gloss, business consultant here at AssetMark. But what's unique about this guest is you actually get to work with her and her team. Tell me a little bit why you're so excited to have her on the show today and talk about business consulting.
I am just so passionate about the work they do. And you can tell Jen is also passionate about her own work. Our business consultants are like the secret sauce that we have at AssetMark. Having an expert like Jen that can come and help them actually work on their business is such an incredible service that we provide. And Jen is just a shining example of that.
Yeah.
I mean, her expertise shines through when she's talking to us, right?
It does. During the interview, you say, you're really an advisor to the advisor. I thought that was a great line.
Yeah. The way that Jen and the rest of the business consulting team will approach working with an advisor. It's very similar to how an advisor approaches working with a client, sort of looking at their hopes and dreams, right? So it's pretty thrilling to see in action.
I'm Jordan Harrison.
And I'm Ann Hutchinson.
And this is AM Radio. Today, we have a great guest for you. We have the incomparable Jen Gloss. She is a business consultant here at AssetMark. Jen, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Before we kick things off, why don't you explain to us what a business consultant at AssetMark does?
A business consultant at AssetMark works with our advisors to help them achieve their vision of success. They're all business owners. They're faced with challenges and opportunities, and we'll engage with them to help them figure out the most ideal solution. But what's different at AssetMark is we'll help them implement the solution, work with them one-on-one to help them achieve the success.
Jen, when you engage with an office, tell us a little bit about the different kind of services that you provide for someone you're working with.
When we talk about the different areas in which we consult, there's business strategy and planning, there's client experience, marketing. Within each one of those areas, we have deep expertise to be able to help.
Do you find that having your expert opinion really helps them take this leap where they might otherwise not do it?
Well, I think that's what makes it so interesting for them and so fun for me. I get to draw on a number of years. This is what I've seen work. This is where I've seen the roadblocks and really help them figure out what makes sense for them. And then I become an extension of their office to implement.
Let's go back to before you were a business consultant with AssetMark. Did you always dream of being a business consultant, or did little Jen have a different dream?
I was pretty confident as a young person. I knew I wanted to be one of two things: Dallas Cowboys cheerleader or a lounge singer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Nice mix. I love it. Your current job is kind of like a combination of both of those things.
It really is.
I mean, cheer our advisors on their growth and their firms. And you also get to, hit a microphone now and then. So,
I mean, I like the performance aspect for sure. Yeah. Too bad I can't sing.
That was my next question is, can you, how are the pipes? Are they golden?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So what was your early career like? You didn't start right out of the gates as a cheerleader or a lounge singer. So where did you start off when you first went to work?
Yeah, I luckily started in this business at a very young age. And I became a client service specialist for a life insurance company. And I got to learn all the basics of the industry and get licensed.
Oh, that's so cool. So you've always been in financial services.
I have. And they also had a broker dealer, and I had an opportunity to become an advisor for them. And after about a year of being an advisor, I learned that I did not like that very much. I wanted to go back into doing marketing and helping advisors. And then I spent the next 16 years at a broker dealer.
Oh, wow.
I've been with AssetMark for, I'll say, at least a decade now. And the last 10 years has been the best part of my career.
Oh.
And how has your experience as an advisor really shaped, how you as a consultant? How does it shape how you work with other advisors?
It's helped a lot, as you can imagine. And you're exactly right. It gives me great empathy. I know how hard it is to gain the trust of an end client and the great responsibility that our advisors have in taking care of those clients. But then also how challenging it is to do business in this world that is continually becoming increasingly complex.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you see advisors facing today? I mean, is it succession? Is it fee compression?
Many advisors don't have a succession plan in place. And really, the ideal time, the best practice, if you will, is to be thinking about this even 15 years before you're planning on slowing down. You want to have at least 10 solid years to execute on that plan. Oftentimes, what we see is advisors don't start doing this work until 2 to 3 years or even 1 year before they're ready to slow down. And the beautiful thing about this career choice as a financial advisor is you can do it for a really long time. There's no point in time in which you age out. As you do age, certain health issues might come up, which might cause you to experience your clients not being taken care of the way that you've always wanted, or realizing the full value of your business.
So you get to get that conversation started often before people are really even thinking about that, and plant that seed and then help the planning come into fruition.
It really is. I mean, you'd be surprised with how many I talk with that don't have a plan or don't have any idea even. Then I help them choose a partner, create a plan, work the plan, and then they transition over a period of time and everyone's happy.
Advisor to the advisor.
Right. And some of the work you do is also helping protect or increase the valuation of their practice, right?
That's right. And that's really where we start. We do an assessment of their business, of how they're running the business today. And we can look for opportunities to make their business worth more tomorrow, even if they're not planning to slow down for another 20 years. There's lots of things that we can put in place today to enhance their key performance indicators, which measures the health of their business and increases the value as those get stronger.
Are you able to provide an example, just kind of off the top of your head?
Yeah, I'll give you a great example. Oftentimes when advisors start in this business, they start working with any client that wants to engage with them. And then after a number of years, they'll have a number of relationships. Now, the best practice out there for how many clients one financial advisor can work with is about 150. So after that point, they need to figure out how, bring in another associate advisor or figure out where they do their best work or where they enjoy most doing the work. So I can come in and help them figure out who their ideal client is, and then look at the rest of that group and maybe do like a partial book sale or maybe bring in an associate advisor to work with those other relationships.
And sometimes that associate advisor could probably end up being part of a succession plan as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And, I think that's the hard thing for young people coming into this business today. It's a long game, especially if you're coming in as a potential successor. The salary is not there at the very beginning. The amazing thing about this career is you can make as much money as you want to. There's no cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to think long term.
Tell us a little bit about the AssetMark growth initiative that you're working on.
Well, I'm so excited about this. We are getting in gear to really formalize helping advisors grow. What we're doing that's going to be different is launching a formal program where we're going to be implementing best practices and other tactics that have been proven to propel growth for firms that are interested in growing. This program will be very prescriptive, and over the course of 18 months, we'll be engaging on a regular basis to deploy various tactics, measure each of those tactics, make sure they're working, and then adjust those as needed.
It sounds a lot like the new advisor programs that some firms have for like younger advisors when they come in. And so is this meant to be like, hey, this is a playbook that you're going to follow for the next 18 months. And if you follow this playbook, you should experience growth? Or is it a little bit more customized than that?
Well, it's certainly customized, and I'll be partnering with them. So each office might be implementing the tactics a little bit differently.
Yeah. If an advisor is interested in getting into a program, how do they go about doing that?
Well, they'll want to engage with their business consultant or their sales ensemble team. And we put them through another assessment where we look at what they're doing to grow now. and what their growth has been like over the last couple of years. The difference is at AssetMark, there are 7 other consultants like me across the country working with advisors one-on-one to implement practice management, best practices, whatever it might be, the growth program. And we're really able to customize the delivery to work for each type of office.
And so they can take the various components of your program and they can kind of piece together the pieces that they want, and their cost would reflect that. Are advisors able to kind of customize, and based on those customizations, does that kind of tell you what your cost will be, or is it calculated a different way?
It should be a whole lot more than what it actually is.
Yeah.
We're very invested in helping our clients grow, helping our clients succeed. We really want to be a partner to them. And as such, I do a lot of the consulting work as a value add of them doing business with AssetMark. Now, for this specific growth program, they're going to pay $1,000 to enroll in the program. And the only reason we're attaching a fee to it is to make sure we get very serious candidates into the program and to control how many people we can work with, because obviously there will be a capacity issue at some point.
As somebody who's done a lot of education in this industry, I know that $1,000 for that type of program is a steal.
One of my favorite areas when we start doing this work is looking at the profitability within the office. And when I really get to dig into the work after the segmentation and I realize where the majority of revenue is coming from, I like to dig into their service model. Is their time spent appropriate for the amount of revenue coming in? And what we found in this one particular case, their A clients, fantastic. B clients, fantastic. C clients usually are doing okay. In this case, the average revenue for the C clients was $14 a year
Oh, Lord.
per client. This is a problem, right?
Yes.
So the one advisor, 2 advisors in this office, the one advisor joked with the other advisor and said, well, I just sent one of them a FedEx. So we're actually going to be negative on that one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's important. And then the D clients were fine, ironically. Yeah, because the time spent wasn't there and the services they were being provided were more cost effective. So it's really important to understand not only where revenue is coming from, but where is revenue not coming from? And so we were able to create some real change. They brought in some associate advisors. We reassigned some relationships. We changed their pricing. And this is really key too. You mentioned fee compression.
Mm-hmm.
So the cost of doing business just continues to increase every single year. Yet these advisors have never increased their fees in a lot of cases. And every year they're introducing more and more services to their clients. When I benchmark an advisor's fee to that of the industry average from various research studies that we have access to, I generally find they're pricing themselves less than the industry average.
Oh, wow.
Do you help them prepare to communicate a pricing change with their clients? Because I can imagine that it might feel awkward or uncomfortable to then come and say like, hey, I need more money. So do you help them navigate that pricing discussion?
Here's how the conversation usually goes. Oh, there's no way I can increase my fees. I say, okay, no problem. Let's talk about the services you're delivering. And I'll create a service model for them, a client-facing one, where they can use it to articulate the value that they're bringing to the relationship. And when I do that, the advisor usually says, gosh, I didn't realize I was doing so many things. I didn't realize how many new things I had added since I set this pricing all these years ago. So then we come to the next part of the conversation. Okay, is this something that you can stomach? To your point about having these close relationships with existing clients, maybe we'll just change the fee schedule for new clients. And I'll usually start there, just propose that. We'll grandfather the existing clients. We'll create a new fee schedule for any new relationships you bring on, just so it's more in line and that doesn't erode your margins. I think once they see that clients are willing to pay for the value that they're receiving, because price is only an issue in absence of value.
Right.
So as long as they can articulate the value and the client feels that value, there's not an issue. You would be surprised how many times I hear that the clients say, of course, I want you to be compensated for all the things you like. You run our family. Of course, you deserve to be paid for that.
This actually, Jen, as you're talking, reminds me about our corporate values at AssetMark. And we recently did a refresh of those. They've always been heart, integrity, excellence, and respect. But we just added a fifth value because it's so integral to the way we work at AssetMark. And that is obsessing over client success. This sounds like exactly what you're talking about.
It's exactly what I'm talking about. We get to obsess over our clients' success. For our clients and for their clients, we get to really help them succeed in every way. And you can see why it could be so rewarding.
Right.
It's really fun work.
Jen, as we're winding down, what are you most excited for that's coming up?
You know, I'm really excited for this growth program. We studied, and as you can imagine, over the years, we've worked with a number of offices that have been really effective at growing year over year. Having tremendous growth. And we studied those offices to figure out what do they have in common? What are they doing that other people are not doing? And how can we help the advisors that want to grow implement those things? And so we figured out it's systems, it's processes, it's focus, knowing who your ideal client is. I like to geek out on the client experience. And it's really fun because that ties back to every single touch point a person experiences as they interface with an office, whether they're looking at the website, whether they're looking at a brochure, whether they're talking to the person that answers the phone initially. Every touch point is an opportunity to make an impression.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last thing, any words of wisdom that you want to share with our audience, or any wisdom that was imparted on you that you want to pass on?
Gosh, it's hard to pick just one thing. But I'd say, I'm going to take it back to the beginning of this conversation where we were talking about succession planning. Most advisors are doing this work up until they can't work anymore.
Right.
And so my advice would be, it's never too early to start thinking about what your succession is and think about how you can monetize your business for the greatest amount possible. So what do we need to do to optimize your business today to make it worth more tomorrow?
Jen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on and just spending time talking to Ann and I.
We're so thrilled that you were able to join us, Jen.
Thank you. It was really fun being here. And I feel like the fortunate one. I get to work with our clients and help them succeed.
Wonderful. Thank you.
AssetMark Inc. is an investment management and consulting firm that helps independent financial advisors build great businesses. This is for informational purposes only, is not a solicitation, and should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. The information has been drawn from sources believed to be reliable, but its accuracy is not guaranteed and is subject to change. References to financial advisors and service providers are intended for informational purposes only and should not be considered an endorsement or recommendation of AssetMark. Each party is responsible for their own content and services. AssetMark and its affiliates may engage with providers for services. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. AssetMark Inc. is an investment advisor registered with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. This content is protected by copyright attributed to AssetMark Inc. 2025. All rights reserved.